Good morning. Bring Marsh County Fiscal Court to order, March 15th, 2016. Last fiscal court meeting, I asked everyone to keep somebody in our prayers. Mitchell Dean Hobgood, who retired from the road department. We had his retirement service on a Friday. He went in the hospital on Sunday, and he had passed away that following Thursday, I believe. So if I can just ask for a moment of silence. Thank you. Before we move forward with the agenda, we need to reschedule April's fiscal court meeting. You can look at your calendar. I believe April 2nd is the scheduled date.
5th.
I'm sorry, April 5th. We want to reschedule the week before or the week after?
I'll be gone the week after.
The week after?
Well, no, actually that week and not the week after, but the rest of that week I will be gone. You're talking about, you're not going to be here that week.
Right.
Okay. Yeah, the next one,
Right, I'll be gone the week of the 5th.
I'm clear the next week.
The week of the 12th?
12th would work for me.
Bob?
I think so. I don't see anything. I don't see a conflict.
Okay. Rick? Okay.
We're already double booked that.
You are at court?
I've got depositions in the health department lawsuit, and then Jeff's gonna have to cover court for me, so.
Okay.
I mean, there is. Occasionally, we'll eliminate one. I mean,
We can.
don't have a pressing business.
Okay. Why don't we do that then? April 5th? We'll just eliminate that court date? Okay. We'll start with the agenda. First item is under guest, Josh Tubbs.
Morning, Judge, Commissioners. Come to you today with some good news, hopefully. We have a project interested in locating here in Marshall County. This project would be about approximately $12 million capital investment in our community. It would create about 48 jobs at an average of $36,000 a year with fringe benefits. They will be applying for their state incentives the last week of this month and need to get a commitment from the local fiscal court on the local participation of the Kentucky Business Investment Program is the 1% occupational tax from the local level to go along with the up to 4% at the state level. Cannot, talk about the details of the project at this time because it would hinder their ability to receive incentives, but did want to approach the court and get your approval for that 1% occupational tax rebate. This is a fantastic company, and I think everybody will be really happy to have them here in our community.
I know I talked to Josh about this, and I think it's a great opportunity anytime we can bring jobs into our community. But I would entertain a motion to...
I would move that we allow the 1% to incentive from the county to remove that it be part of this package.
Judge, I should have said that 1% commitment is over a 15-year period.
Correct.
I'm sorry, I should have mentioned.
Ten's not the
It's
time frame usually?
It's a 15-year period because Marshall County has actually become an enhanced county again through the Kentucky Business Investment Act. So it extends that period to a 15-year period.
But it hinges on the fact that the jobs will be here.
That's correct.
Nothing happens if the jobs don't.
That's correct.
Is that the project we've talked about previously with the water line?
Yes, it is.
Okay.
And it's the entire 1% instead of a half?
That's correct. It's not located within the city limits of Benton
Okay.
or Calvert, so it's fully in the county.
That's the Mayfield Highway address.
Yeah, and what we're doing, our Benton City and County Industrial Authority has committed to extend a water line to this company. So we're also adding that in with, to locate this project.
I'll second that.
All right. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries.
Thank you, Judge. Thank you, Court.
Next on the agenda, Roger Ford.
Josh, when will obviously they hadn't applied to the state, they hadn't got the same commitment from the state.
They have applied, and that board meeting is the last Thursday of this month, and then they should let the company make their announcement.
I know in previous similar situations, it's usually, a 10-year period, and I'm not familiar with the 15-year.
The 15-year period, again, was extended. There's in the Kentucky incentive programs, there's enhanced counties and non-enhanced counties. Enhanced counties because they, over a 5-year period, their unemployment rate meets a certain standard.
Right.
Non-enhanced counties, over a 5-year rate, it doesn't meet that standard. So we've been enhanced. We go off and on, Commissioner, and a lot of that's because of the fluctuation in our unemployment rate. So that's really the only reason.
But the state will more than likely, if they grant those, have no problem. My past dealings with that, they didn't want to extend it past 10 years or make that commitment. 15 years was a deal breaker. They come back and of course they negotiate and do what they want to do. But
Yeah.
we're not committing to 15 years. We're committing to the same time frame that the state will commit to.
Yeah, that's correct.
They're not going to commit to 10 years and,
It'll be 15 years all around, yeah.
okay.
The state will commit
Be
to
all
their
or none.
15-year portion, and then the county will commit to their.
And ours is contingent on the state
Correct,
buying in also.
Correct.
We're a no-go. Our 1%'s a no-go if the state's 4% is a no-go.
yeah, I don't foresee that being an issue, but that's
Okay,
correct.
Okay. Well, I hope not, but
Yeah.
okay.
Any other questions? All right, thank you, Judge.
Thank you, Josh. Roger. Good morning.
Morning, Judge. Morning, Court. I'm just here to need a motion to accept that I have put in my budget for 2016, 2017. This is not to approve the budget, it's just to approve that I have submitted it.
Great.
I'll make that motion, Roger.
Second.
For a second, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, motion carries.
Thank you, Judge.
I'm going to add Robert Chandler to the guest list. He's got something for us this morning.
Need a little help. I talked to Kevin 2 or 3 weeks ago. The federal government wants to give me a 2016 Jeep to carry the veterans in to Marion and Nashville and St. Louis, but they want me to, or someone to pay the $23,000 for the van, and then the government said we'll pay you back in 60 days. Well, I'm sorry. I don't do business that way. After I talked to you, I told my wife, I said, no, I'm not going to do it. So I'm not going to ask you for the $23,000. I drove back to Frankfort last week. I talked to the assistant director of transportation. She's going to give me a 2007 Chrysler minivan. Give it to me, to the county, if you want it. The thing that I need today, if we can add it to your fleet for insurance, fuel, and I'll tell you, this year, I had to buy 4 new tires for the van at a cost of $815, which I absorbed. Fuel, in January, I spent $106.50. February, I spent $88.96, and it's on the road today. I can't tell you what I spent in March. It's on the way to Marion right now as we're talking. Had to buy a new battery, $132. And my point is, I don't know if I want to add that to Marshall County. I don't want Marshall County to absorb anything like this if I can find another route. So I've contacted the Veterans Administration, and what they told me was that if I would give the van, when they give it to me, state, if I would give it to the Veterans Administration, they'll pay insurance, fuel, tires, and everything. So I'm thinking about going that way. I just wanted y'all to know. I just don't want to be a burden to the county. And that seemed like a burden to me. I may not have to have no tires for 5 or 6 years, but, and oil change. Ford Place changed my oil too. It's $38. But I don't want to be a burden to the county. And that seems, I totaled it up, and that seemed like an awful big burden for the county to bear at this time. I know y'all are tight. I know you are. So I think I'm going to try through the Veterans Administration rather than ask y'all. I was talking to Johnny, and rather than ask y'all for the money, I think I'll just try through the veterans. The only thing I don't like is the one I got now through the Veterans Administration. A veteran passed away in January. His wife calls me. She don't have a vehicle. She didn't drive. Her husband did. She don't have a way to hospital. She called me and wanted to know if I'd come pick her up. I called the
Robert?
But the Veterans Administration wouldn't let me pick this widow of a veteran up. I asked to drive it in the Tater Day parade. No, you can't drive it in parades. And that's the only downfall that I found, that they won't let me drive it except taking a veteran to the hospital at St. Louis, Nashville, Marion, wherever we go. Today it was Marion. But I think I'm going to go that way rather than be a burden on y'all.
Don't you all,
We got $3,800 in the Veterans Van Fund. That's
Robert-
not what it's for?
Well, there may be another option.
Okay?
The pad office, come see me after this.
Yes, sir.
We'll go ahead with the VA, but I had a meeting with the pad office earlier this week, or actually last week,
Uh-huh.
and we discussed the vehicle.
Yeah.
And there may be an opportunity to get a vehicle. So come see me after this, if you don't
Sure.
mind.
But before that, I mean, the fuel and the batteries and all that, can't that, I mean, we've got a
We've
van
got the
fund
van
here
fund,
that
yeah.
covers that. We got money in it, that's what it's for.
Well,
Did you turn receipts in?
no,
Do-
it's okay.
Well, the van fund is there for those expenses.
I'm making it okay right now. If
But-
I need it, I'll come back and get it. okay?
Robert, doesn't the VA provide you a gas card? I thought you told us about it
Yes.
last year that you have a gas card that the VA
Yeah.
provides that.
Yeah, I got a VA card.
Okay.
This gas.
No use
Am
you
I on
being-
TV?
No use you paying out of pocket though
This,
when we've got a van
this
fund.
gas. I just can't say no. I got a bad habit. My wife says, and this veteran needed to ride. Lady veteran in Marshall County. The VA won't pay her. She got hurt in Afghanistan. She was a paratrooper. The VA won't pay her. The VA won't give her any medical and she called me and I took her.
So there's just certain things that gas card could be used for, and they've
Just
got
to
rules
haul-
and regulations. and
Right.
That's what you,
And
okay.
this I done, but I'm okay. I don't need it right now. If I do, I'll come back. But I want you to know about the van, and I'll see you.
Yep.
I've been to the pad office already in Mayfield.
Well, you might have sparked that fire, but the conversation was continued, so.
All right. I sparked the
Robert,
fire
that
when
didn't
I
have
left.
What they said, that doesn't have anything to do with the tires and the battery and all of that. That's just part of it. If you had fuel
That's-
costs that you don't want to get covered, but tires and batteries, there's things that wear out that van fund is for.
Okay.
Yep.
If I need it, I'll come back. Is that okay?
Okay.
Thank you for your time.
Appreciate it, Robert. Next on the agenda, under correspondence, received a letter from North Marshall Water District. I'm just going to read it to you. This is from North Marshall Water District. We understand that Bobby Gifford's employment with the County of Marshall, Kentucky ceased on February 25th, 2016. On February 26, 2016, the North Marshall Water District hired Mr. Gifford as the district's permanent superintendent, and he immediately began work. Accordingly, please allow this to serve as notice that the interlocal cooperative agreement made by and between the county and the district dated June 15, 2011, relating to Mr. Gifford's employment with the county and district interlocal agreement is now terminated pursuant to paragraph 8 of the interlocal agreement. And it's signed by the chairman, Kendra Capps. The interlocal agreement, the stipulations in that were to be the interim at North Marshall Water. There was a time period of 1 year. Bobby was the interim for about 5 years. So, but because of his termination, that terminates the interlocal agreement. So I wanted to share that with everybody. The next item under correspondence is the state auditor. You've got a copy of this. This basically is the fiscal court engagement for the year ending June 30th, 2015. I just have to have approval to sign it. So I would entertain a motion to sign the auditor public accountants agreement.
Move to give the judge the authority to sign the document.
Second.
All those in favor say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Motion carries. Next, under correspondence, I had received correspondence with Lloyd Ford from Lake News. One of the good things about this position is you get to hear from a lot of people in the community, and it's good to hear from people in the community because you get that feedback. He had reached out to my office in regards to the Kentucky Open Records on meetings. We had a meeting, last fiscal court meeting, that we went in an executive session. We were within the guidelines of the KRS, but I just wanted to put this on the correspondence to let everybody know that council and I, we had discussed and we had talked. We're going to expand upon that so that we can be more specific in nature if there are concerns when we go into executive session. So I just wanted to put that on there. Does anybody have any questions? And this is a good resource, boy. Next on the agenda for correspondence is Relay for Life sponsorship. I'll read that to you. Relay for Life is a nationwide signature fundraising event for the American Cancer Society. It's an evening community celebration where individuals and teams come out, barbecue, dance, and take turns walking, running, or strolling around the track, relay style, to raise funds and awareness while celebrating the lives of those who have had cancer, remembering those who have lost their lives due to cancer, and their families and friends, and fighting back against a disease that takes too much. Teams are made up of individuals representing business, clubs, schools, churches, and families. They are all encouraged to come out and camp as part of the event, but others may want to simply participate in fellowship with others around the track or park. After dark, participants light hundreds of luminaires around the track in a moving ceremony to honor cancer survivors, as well as friends and family members lost to the deceased. Relay for Life represents hope to those who are facing and who have faced cancer. The support you can give is an investment toward that hope that a new treatment may be discovered. A new screening procedure may be put into practice to find cancer at its earliest, most treatable stage, that a person may get the help they need to fight just one more day. And that one day, no one will have to hear the words, "You have cancer." So please consider giving and being a part of the community for 2015 Relay for Life, which will be held Saturday, June 11th, from 3 p.m. to 10 p.m. at Marshall County High School. You've got the information, and I encourage anybody in the community to take part in this. I know it's reached many of us, but this is a great opportunity. One of the things that I want to do this year, because we're going to be going into budget talks, everyone feels the constraints financially, all of our nonprofit organizations, all of our agencies. I want to challenge the commissioners and myself to make a donation to this organization. I know I went, when was that, last year at the high school, the event. I had a great niece that passed away. So I went. It was actually a great time. I think, Sheriff, you didn't throw any balls at the Duncan booth, but I think we were in the Duncan booth. There were some other people there. It was a great organization. We went around, we walked, great entertainment. So it is a great event for a great cause, but I would like to challenge my fellow commissioners to make a donation. There's other things that you can do. You can get teams to walk around the track. There's lanterns of love after the Relay for Life. You basically, in memory or in honor of a family member or somebody that you know who's lost their lives to cancer, you can make a minimum donation for Lanterns of Love. So that if anyone has any questions, I just wanted to share that information with everybody.
We sponsored that in the past,
We have, as
extent.
to some extent, what was the donation in the past?
Usually the county sponsored the team. We had a county team, and they would pay the entry fee, provide the T-shirts for the team, and then they would match whatever the team raised.
Do you know
is-
what the, I guess that would be a good challenge.
That's
For
what
us
we've
to-
done. It's probably been close to maybe 10 years ago since we've done that.
I certainly wouldn't have any problem if we wanted to get a team up and sponsor the team at all. I don't know what else we could, we could do at least that much, I would think. And I don't think we'd have any problem, we've got some funds that we could use for that. Do we have, we've got?
Yeah, there's still some in that, the contribution account that are unallocated for any specific thing.
Well, I'd move that we sponsor a team. If we can get one up, if we can't, then that's fine. But if we can, if you think there's interest, Emily, is there, you think there would be, or?
I don't know, it's
I think
been a
it
long
kind of
time.
waned, didn't it? Then we start in, and then we kind of got to where they wasn't as interested, the
Yeah.
team members.
Yeah, yeah.
We can, wouldn't have to do it right away. We could wait then, and if you want to see if there's interest in a team being sponsored.
When does the event take place?
June 11th.
June.
We've got plenty of time to see if there's interest and answer those questions before we,
Want to get out, send out an email maybe, and just see if there's interest in having a team?
Do that. Next, on the agenda, under old business, approve the minutes,
Motion to approve the minutes, Judge.
for March 1st and the March 2nd special call meeting. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries.
you're approving both sets of minutes?
Yes. Next, under old business, Wayne Shelton and Jay Height, they're going to give their sanitation district number 2 report. You should have a copy of it. Morning.
Good morning, Judge and Commissioners. We'd like to go over our agreed-upon procedures report for the Marshall County Sanitation District Number 2. We have performed the procedures enumerated below, which were agreed upon by the specified parties of the Marshall County Fiscal Court for the Marshall County Sanitation District Number 2, solely to assist the fiscal court in meeting its due diligence requirements for the fiscal year ended June 30th, 2015. Management of Marshall County Sanitation District Number 2 is responsible for the district's financial accountability and its compliance with requirements. This agreed-upon procedures engagement was conducted in accordance with the attestation standards established by the American Institute of Certified Public Accountancy. The sufficiency of the procedures is solely the responsibility of those parties specified in this report. Consequently, we make no representations regarding the sufficiency of the procedures described below, either for the purpose for which this report has been requested or for any other purposes. The first procedure that we performed was from the district's trial balance. We prepared a balance sheet to review and make recommendations as needed for the district to prepare its accounting records in accordance with the accrual basis of accounting. You can see this in the accompanying Exhibit A. What we found with this is the district did not maintain their accounting records in accordance with the accrual basis of accounting, and our recommendation would be for the district to put into place procedures to accurately recognize assets and liabilities so that the accounting records will be in accordance with the accrual basis of accounting. The next procedure that was performed was from the district's accounting records. We reviewed the billing and collections process and have made recommendations. Currently, the operator is working full-time during the day to maintain the sanitation system, and he is also having to bill with his wife at night the customers on the sanitation district. He is also having to help collect the payment from these customers, all while he's still working on the system during the day. So we would recommend that the district put into place procedures to help with the collection process and the billing process. This could be to have an outside organization to perform the billing and collections process to help him out to be able to help collect more of the funds. Next item is currently the board members are not being billed for their sanitation in lieu of board compensation. The district is also not filing the proper IRS tax forms for the board member compensation. With that, we would recommend the district to have board members to pay for their sewer services and to determine a monetary amount to paid board members, if any at all. That's up to the commissioners. We would also recommend the district to prepare and give the board members the proper IRS forms, which would typically be a Form 1099 miscellaneous. The next item we did, we reviewed the internal controls and have made recommendations for those internal controls. Currently, there is one employee who is performing all the accounting functions except for the payroll and related payroll tax forms and sales tax returns for the district with the help of his wife for billing. That is not a very good internal control process, just simply having one person doing all the accounting functions for an organization. I know that it is a small organization with only one employee, so it does make it hard, but we would recommend for the district to look at other ways to segregate duties as best as possible. This could be to have an outside accounting firm assist with record keeping and having only the board members be check signers, as well as only board members being able to draw on the line of credit that the district has, and also having another entity do the billing and collections process, also assist with the internal controls. Next item, we reviewed the insurance policies to determine if the district had sufficient insurance policies for their assets and their employees. Currently, there are no insurance policies in place to our knowledge for general liability, workers' compensation, or on equipment the district owns. We would recommend that the district, as soon as possible, discuss with insurance companies about getting general liability, auto, and workers' compensation insurance policies. Next item, we reviewed the general accounting records and procedures and made recommendations. There were several items that we tested that did not agree with the bank statements, mainly relating to payroll items. The accounting records would show a weekly payroll being performed, and the bank statements varied. Sometimes they'd be weekly, sometimes they would be biweekly. Not a major issue, but it is something that needs to be a little bit more consistent, and that would be our recommendation for the payroll to be more consistent. Next item is bank statements are currently running from the middle of one month to the middle of the next month, making it hard to reconcile their accounting records to the bank statements on a month-end and to a year-end. We would recommend just contacting the financial institution to have them start running the bank statements from the beginning of the month to the end of the month. The next item, we requested organizational documents such as articles of organization, bylaws, et cetera, for formal policies and procedures, and these documents were not found. We would recommend the district prepare the policies and procedures to help govern the board and the day-to-day operations. And the last procedure we performed was we reviewed the financial condition of the sanitation district and noted our discovery in Exhibit B to this report. Based on this information, it would appear that the district will experience a cash shortfall in the upcoming years and would have the potential for a going concern issue. You can see that in Exhibit B, which is simply an estimated cash inflows and cash outflows. Those could vary from year to year. It could be where you have a good year and there isn't an actual cash shortfall. Going on, we were not engaged to and did not conduct an examination, the objective of which would have been the expression of an opinion on compliance. Accordingly, we do not express such an opinion. Had we performed any other procedures, other matters might have come to our attention that would have been reported to you. The accompanying schedules, Exhibit A and B, as of and for the year end June 30, 2015, were not audited, reviewed, or compiled by us, and accordingly, we do not express an opinion or any other form of assurance on them. If you want, you can look at the second to last page, which would be the balance sheet. It says a statement of financial position. This is the Exhibit A, showing the assets and liabilities and the net position based off of the information that was available to us. And then the next page is the estimated schedule of cash inflows and outflows for budgeting purposes. Any questions?
Y'all have any questions?
This is as of June 30th. Your investigation or whatever was, so there's maybe some things that have changed, but this is as of June 30th last year.
Yes, there could be things that have changed since June 30th, 2015.
Well, there are things that we've discussed that are changed in there. We had the opportunity to ask the questions previously, and those questions were asked, and that was one of my concerns too, that this report is through June 30th, 2015 only.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Appreciate it, thank you. Next under old business, the Oak Level Brewers Project. The December 1st, Bobby Gifford came to the court regarding the Oak Level project. We went back and we looked, the information, I started looking at this project, where we are today. I think we need to make this attention to ourselves because the actual infrastructure revolving loan fund, which is a loan application that was signed in December for $107,500. We have, that project is not complete, and there are some concerns that I have. I know we've discussed a little bit about it, but I think what I need is approval to halt this loan application with KIA until the Fiscal Court and leadership from Benton City Water District get together and we discuss the future of this project. I don't want to go into too much of details, but I think it's important that we at a minimum just hold up on this loan application because when I went back and pulled all the documents, I have a lot of questions.
I have no problem going that direction. I've got information that you have, and you're being very kind, I think.
I am
And your
being very
statements and
kind.
politically correct or whatever, but there are problems that need to be discussed before going forward.
The one thing I will say is that my intentions are to put the taxpayers in the front seat. So I would entertain a motion
So
to
moved.
halt the KI loan application. All those in favor say aye. All those opposed, motion carries.
We need to continue down that road with projects like that, and it's a good project, but they got the cart before the horse, it seems to me, and proceeding forward without funds, and that's not the way to do business.
It's not the way to do business, I agree.
We need to move forward, I think, as quickly as we can. We've got over $1 million worth of infrastructure in that is waiting on that those extra dollars to finish it.
We had, as he said, December 1st, he drew against that account, and he said he didn't know that the monies weren't there.
We
The-
get it straightened out best we can.
We'll go into new business, Morris County Refuse District Fiscal Year 15 audit. You got a copy of it? You got it. And where's my list? Make a motion to accept.
Motion to accept the Refuse Department's audit.
We're just receiving that and
Just
no
receiving it.
action necessary, just making light that we have received that. Okay.
I'll second that.
All those in favor say aye. Any opposed? Motion carries. Next on the new business is Morris County Refuse District Fiscal Year 17 budget. Make a motion to accept it.
Motion to accept the Refuse Department's budget.
Second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Next on their new business is the intra-fund transfer.
We could commend them just a little bit on their management out there. I think they've done a very good job of getting and actually building some reserves, and they've gotten a new truck, and so they're moving in a very good direction.
Yeah, they have. In this budget, they also separated out reserves that are for transfer if needed, and then also put into action a depreciation reserve.
Appreciation fund,
that
yeah, I noticed
will
they
be-
had done that.
Will be built up to replace equipment in the future.
Exactly. And that equipment out there that you need it because it's expensive.
The intra-fund.
I need your approval to move $100,000 from the occupational tax administrator to the jail fund.
Make that motion.
Second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Next on the new business is treasurer's report.
As of February 29, 2016, the general fund had a book balance of $1,402.63. Road fund, $401,758.62. Jail fund had a shortage of $60,584.69. That is due to the payroll transfer and then health insurance and several things piled on there at the last minute. That's what the $100,000 moves over. Also, the state inmate payment from the state of Kentucky is behind a couple of months. That's also affecting this, but the account was never overdrawn or anything like that. I wanted you all to be aware of that. The grant fund had $35,088.16. The 911 fund, $35,551.80. Occupational tax administrator, $3,033,061.86. Veterans Band Fund, $3,867.68. ABC Fund, $22,558.74. And Building Inspection Fund, $20,029.73, for a total of $4,862,894.90.
Make a motion to approve the treasurer's report subject to audit.
Make that motion.
Second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries.
It's nice that we can carry the state there a little bit. We can,
Oh,
there, it's
yeah.
when they're short of funds.
It doesn't work in reverse, though,
And so far,
unfortunately.
Next on the new business, appropriation transfer approval.
We had a department request for 911 to make the transfers listed here. They're moving from advertising to travel and training, and then also they're moving from communication equipment to travel and training.
make a motion to approve those budget transfers.
Second.
All those in favor say aye. Any opposed? Motion carries. Next on the new business, approved payment of bills.
Motion to pay the bills, Judge.
Second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Just want to reiterate that the April 5th fiscal court is not going to be scheduled. Make a motion to adjourn.
Did not know the process for getting to speak before the board, but I request a few minutes of your time, please.
Sure.
My name is Ronnie Heath. I live in the Pirates Cove community. I'm also a member of the newly formed South Marsh Fire Department. Chief Searles, at our Thursday night meeting last week, informed us in the department that possibly that the county is looking at transferring our dispatch center to KSP. I come before you to ask you to do due diligence in this process. Look very hard at it before you make any final decisions. I realize that you may be going and asking, may look at this as a money-saving thing, but as you know, cheaper is not always better. I've been a resident of Marshall County since 2010. Prior to that, I lived in Grace County. Was a member of the Lowe's Fire Department and the Viola Fire Departments over there. We were dispatched by KSP at all times. I can tell you from personal experience that dispatch did not always work correctly. If the KSP in a particular instance had a big issue going on, the fire departments took second choice. I'm just coming before you to voice my vote against moving to KSP for our dispatching. I think the court and the judge needs to really dig into and look at how many calls that our dispatch center dispatches out on a daily basis, a weekly basis, and a monthly basis. And then also look at what KSP, how many dispatchers they have on staff, how many calls they dispatch on a daily, weekly, and monthly issue. By being a member of the previous fire departments, I know how many calls that we were dispatched on. Chief Searles made reference last Thursday night that our department itself answered 170 some odd calls. That's one department. We have 10 fire departments in this county. If you don't have a 911 radio, I request that y'all get one and listen to how many calls that go out. There's a bunch. Palmer, Bryansburg, and Calvert City, if they don't get 5 calls a day, they'd be pissed off. And that's, you know, we don't need to compound the problem. I realize that maybe there is a budget concern, but as a taxpayer of Marshall County and a citizen of Marshall County, I had rather see me personally pay a smaller increase in my property taxes or sales taxes to fund our 911 dispatch center. Take a long look at it, please.
Mr. Heath, you said you were a firefighter.
Yes.
Did you go to the Alliance meeting?
No, sir.
Did Chief Searles go to the Alliance meeting?
I'm sure he was, yes.
Were
He
there,
he did not.
He did not, okay.
he
I
did not go to the Alliance meeting?
I don't know. I can't answer that.
There was an Alliance meeting, I think, last week that would have been very informative for the firefighters. I think you need to reach out to the 911 board, maybe the chairman and the director, because there was a lot of information that was discussed that I think you do not have the information to. I appreciate you coming today, but there's a lot more information out there that I think the Alliance meeting, I think there was maybe 10 or 11 people that showed up, from my understanding. So reach out to your chief and
I will do that, and because as a concerned citizen, we need our own dispatch center here in Marshall County.
right.
Thank
But-
you very much for your time. But if I can be involved, I respect the request to be involved in this process. And I can be, I would like to talk with any of you. I want to learn more.
Do you know who Representative King is?
No,
You need to learn who Representative King is. She has been fighting and championing for the 911 for the past 4 years. If the 911 is going to take a serious stance, you need to get involved in who's doing the fighting up in Frankfurt. I'd express that information to go back to the Alliance, get that word out. I know I've expressed that to 911. There are people out there that are fighting for 911. It is a legitimate issue, but I think all the information needs to be expressed. Researcher, I've met her, I've listened to her. I know some of the others have. She's a piston for her cause. And the cell phone lobbyists are champion against her. There is a big fight, and if we're going to be serious about it in our communities, everybody needs to get involved.
well, I definitely want the opportunity to get involved.
Thank you.
Because we need to support these people.
Thank you. Thank you.
I had one thing I'd
Yes, sir.
forgotten about. I'd asked Russell if y'all were out. I heard y'all were going out one day and then you didn't, to show you a pretty deep, hole on Curd Road. If you get a chance to go out there and see if we possibly could put up a guardrail.
Oh.
It's a pretty bad place. Down near the Coon Club.
You know where it's at? Okay,
Near the Coon Club.
okay. Yeah, because we got to
Everybody knows
go.
where the Coon Club is.
Yeah. Which actually, I'm glad you brought that up. That had slipped my mind. That started.
Worlds?
Yes.
Yeah.
I met with Reggie yesterday, and great organization as far as the competitive competition. It brings in $45,000 for the purse. That's a large incentive. Coon hunters from all over the country are coming to our community. So they started Sunday night, I think, with a rehearsal, and Monday night was the first in the competition. They'll be here all week.
We had several things that happened over the years when we lost that, and now they've got it back, and it's a good event. It really is. And people come all over the country to participate.
Yep. Robert?
After I sat down, I think I gave y'all the wrong impression, and I don't give you the, what I was giving you was what the VA spent this year. The 4 tires that Bob mentioned, I didn't pay for them. I just wanted y'all to know that's what the expense was
Okay.
if we was to
All right.
get it.
Yes.
No, I didn't pay for them.
Okay.
Okay.
All right,
I
good.
want, after I sat down, I said, I think Bob
Yeah, I
misunderstood.
was concerned.
Those numbers I read off is what they spent, what the VA spent January and February, and I wanted y'all to see how much was being
Okay.
spent. I didn't buy them.
Okay.
Thank you.
Good, good.
Okay. I take a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries.